The recommendation to not load fuse switches past 80% of their rating is a general guideline based on industry best practices and safety considerations. It is not a strict rule, but rather a conservative approach to minimize the risk of overheating, damage, and failure of the fuse or switch. When determining the allowable load for a fuse switch, the following factors should be considered. Firstly, LCL, which is the locked rotor current, or the highest current that a motor or load draws during startup. Secondly, the largest motor, which is the motor with the highest LCL on the circuit. Thirdly, non-LCL loads, which are any loads that do not have a high starting current, such as lighting, heating, or electronic equipment. And fourthly, ambient temperature, which is the temperature of the surrounding environment where the fuse is located. The general calculation method for determining the allowable load is as follows. Allowable load equals 80% times fuse rating minus the LCL of the largest motor plus non-LCL loads. Fuse manufacturers recommend loading fuses below 80% of their rating for a number of reasons. 1. Heat dissipation. Fuses generate heat when current flows through them. The higher the load, the more heat is generated. Loading beyond 80% can cause excessive temperature rise and damage the fuse. 2. Inrush current. Some loads, such as transformers and motors, draw high inrush currents when starting. Loading a fuse past 80% can cause it to blow prematurely due to a high inrush current. 3. Safety margin. The 80% loading guideline provides a margin of safety to account for potential variations in load conditions, ambient temperature, and manufacturing tolerances. There are exceptions to the rule. In some cases, it may be acceptable to exceed the 80% loading guideline. However, this should only be done after careful consideration of the following factors. 1. Type of fuse. Some fuses, such as high voltage fuses, may be rated for higher loading percentages. 2. Ambient temperature. In low ambient temperatures, fuses can often handle higher loads without overheating. 3. Critical loads. For critical loads that cannot be interrupted, it may be necessary to exceed the 80% loading guideline to ensure continuity of service. It is always best practice to consult with the fuse manufacturer and follow their specific recommendations for loading. Exceeding the recommended loading percentage without proper consideration can compromise the safety and reliability of the electrical system.